Welcome to Trent Trifecta Thursday as we take our talents to close to South Beach in Hallandale, California, Florida. Been down there once before. Charles, a nice little outlet, Gulfstream Park. Have you been there before?
No, I have not been there.
No. They have a nice little shopping area when you first come in. Like when you first come off the highway and stuff, it's kind of run down a little bit. And then as you get closer to the track and the ocean, it gets nicer. But when you get there, it's a pretty nice shopping area. Really nice track when you walk in there, though. I really like when you first walk in, you walk into the bull ring. It's really nice. And you got a casino in there. So if you're done, you had a good day at the track, you can go ahead and you can either make a few more dollars or give them all back right there, right?
You keep on going for more.
Well, that's why I say you can make more, you can give it back. You got choices. That's always a good thing, right?
Yep.
All right. So today we're going to do Gulfstream. Before we get to Gulfstream, though, a little later on today, or right about now, somewhere in there in the not too distant future, you're going to get the start at Mahoning Valley. So you can go ahead and get those picks down there for free at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. You see a link in the description below. Had a blowout day. Not too many tracks running yesterday, but had a lot of big winners. So head on over there using the link in the description down below so they know where it is you come from. Hello, Miguel. Nice to thank you for the thumbs up already. We haven't even gotten started. People are happy with us, Charles.
Well, it's because of me.
It's always because of you, Charles, right?
That's right.
Never should I get credit for anything.
You should.
All right. I'm not asking for any. I'm not looking for any backhanded compliments, but I am looking to pull up race number 1 at Gulfstream Park, Charles. And there we go. We got a lot of. Well, first of all, they are running on the dirt. They're not running on the turf, and there's a lot of maiden races today. So aside from that, let's get started.
And it is raining pretty good there, I hear. So we're going to have a sloppy track, not a muddy track on the main track. The first race is a mile and 70 yards, all weather. This is a maiden claiming for 12.5 versus 22,000. This is for maidens, fillies, mares, 3-year-olds, and upward.
The one thing about Florida rain, though, it comes and goes, right? 1 minute it could be raining. The next minute it could be sunny. When I was recently down in Tampa, we were driving over to Clearwater Beach, and it was pouring at Tampa and in like a little bit eastern suburbs of Tampa. You can't go west, be in the ocean. But by the time we got to the bridge to go to Clearwater, it was sunny. So one place it can be storming, the next place it can be beautiful without a cloud in the sky. So at a mile and 70 yards on that Tapeta track, your favorite surface in all of the world, Mr. Charles.
Yeah.
Does favor stalkers. 13% of the time they go wire to wire. There's really no benefit to any post position. They play fair. We do 1,000 simulations, Charles, using speed figures to calculate who's got the best chance to win. And then we calculate those odds. We're looking for post time odds that are higher than our simulated odds. Based upon those 1,000 simulations, we look at how many times they run a speed figure at par or better for the conditions. In this case, it's 72. And in this case, you shall see that the 3-horse Gray Princess, strong chance to run better than that. We also want to know who's going to be on the lead. So we use pace to figure out who's going to be the pace setter. And then based upon our projected pace, comfort zone, how likely this race is to mirror winning or their best efforts. Charles, looks like they all have a chance to get to the lead, but a couple are faster than the others.
Yes, the 2 right now has a 33% chance of getting that lead at the quarter pole. But the 7 might have a say in that with a 28% chance. But I'm going to say watch out for that 4. The 4 might even throw a shot at that. When it comes to simulation odds, we got the 3 at even money, and we have a 2-to-1 morning line. That's an okay overlay. And then the 8 slightly 2-1, 2.5-to-1 morning line. So a little overlay there.
Yeah, it looks like Peter Aiello got the numbers right on the 8-horse there. Again, we mentioned that. The 3-horse there, a beautiful par plus opportunity, about 84% chance that it'll score. Should run well enough to win, but could find that the 6 and the 8 are the ones that enjoy the race pace the best. In race number 1, Charles, the 5 and the 7, Starship Segrin and Zulibela Bea. Those 2 haven't been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. Otherwise, the 4 and the 8 want to be middle to forward. 2, 3, and 6 want to close. I know the all-weather favors stalkers. but being up front in this race shape should be helpful. Kindness is free. A closer does have that left arrow status, one that normally runs closing race, but 4 points quicker than anybody else out of the gate. 2 might be your pace setter, Charles. The 3-horse Gray Princess has the most late speed, along with Battling Bubbles. Okay, fine. Big drop off from there. As far as our top total pace horses are concerned, you have the 3, the 6, and the 8. They're considerably better than the rest of the field. Maybe put those 3 together in the opener. 3, 6, 8. You'll have an exacta or trifecta box. Charles, what do you think?
Well, those 3 horses are definitely in the mix. Watch out for the 4, though. The 4, I think, is going to be out there. I think that's the leader. But I ended up with the 3 on top. I really like this horse here in this predicament. Plenty of speed, I think, for it to go at. He could sit 3rd or 4th, make one good move. Trainer gets 28% first after a claim. That's excellent. And, of course, guess who's aboard? IRAD. So why not start off the day with that?
Yes.
The 4 is my second choice. Like I said, this horse has speed, the sneaky speed. Second start after a layoff. Trainer gets 15% with that angle. You got a hot jockey the last 7 days on this horse, so puts him in the thick of things. The 8 is my third pick. Drops in class, tactical speed. Jose Ortiz aboard. A lot of pluses there. And then the 6, another one that drops tactical speed, but this one will be definitely closing. He won't sit too close. And the trainer gets 21% with 46 plus days of rest. It looks like you just copied and pasted and put it on yours. So that's all we have to say.
I like the 3-horse because it's running at the lowest level of its career, Charles. And when it ran, it made it claiming 16,000, a little bit higher than it's running today. It just missed. Errol Spitz, the Aperol Spritz. Most back class probably in this field, and a good opportunity to be better in the second start after layoff. Number 8, okay, fine. Biggest class dropper in the field, making the third start after a layoff. Also has a trio of maintenance workouts to keep the saw sharp between races, and then Battling Bubbles. Charles in the bathtub. Back to Gulfstream Park on the all-weather, and has a pair of seconds in 2 very close races at this level. I'm going to go trifecta 3, 4, 8 with the 3, 4, with the 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 to get started. I have my pick 5 a little later on.
Yeah, I did my pick 5 here. It's not that big of a pick 5, but I mean, it's decent size. I singled out the 3 here, started off. So either the 3 has to win for me to be alive. But I took my top 3 picks in the second leg, top 2 in the third, fourth legs. And then I went 4 deep in the final 5th.
I know it says we have 1 minute to post in race number 2. That's not true at that track, Charles. So if we hustle, we can probably get race number 2 done. So let's go ahead and give that a try.
Yeah. Okay, race number 2. Well, it was originally supposed to be a mile on the turf. Now it's a mile and 70 yards on the all-weather. Maiden claiming 35. Purse is 35. This is for fillies 2-year-olds.
Yeah, indeed. At a mile and 70 yards on the all-weather, we saw that in the first race. So stalkers do good. 13% they go wire to wire. Post positions are kind of fair. Charles, what about the statistics do you see in race number 2 that jump out to you?
Well, I mean, the 3, 57% chance of getting the lead at the quarter pole. You know, I actually think that a little bit, but remember these are maidens, so you're not going to get a true feel about this. The 8 might have a shot at that also. With that 18% of getting the lead at the quarter pole. We have simulation odds. We have the 8. That's the only one. Just slightly under even money. And we have 12-1 morning line. So that's a really big overlay.
Yeah, you got the 3, the 8, and the 9, if you want to do, and perhaps the 2 in there. A par plus exacta or trifecta in there. And then right here, the 5 and the 6. Have the strongest C-zone score. So you can make a case for a lot of these horses off of some of this data. In the second race, Charles, taking a look at the race shape, that 8-horse, Mama Kim, if he can get to the lead, Lone E, the P horse right there, and Lone P as well, moving on up. 3 and the 8, if those 2 can be forwardly placed, probably got a shot, Charles, looking at those 2. They're likely to be the 2 up front. A little bit of a gap down to the rest of those 2, so they should be right where they want to be. 3-horse also has the most late speed, Charles. That means it'll be your top total pace horse. 8 points clear of Mama Kim. Can't pass what you can't catch, Charles. Can we catch the 3? You think the 9 will get it done?
I think the 9 could get it. The 9 drops today. They add the blinkers. The trainer's 15% with that angle. And the trainer gets 24% first time in route. So I think he usually gets them ready for that. And Paco's aboard, so why not? The 3 is my second choice here. This horse drops in class. Trainer gets 30% going from straight maiden to maiden claiming. Tyler's aboard, makes the horse really tough. The 5 is my third choice. Drops in class, third start after a layoff. Trainer gets 23% with that angle. Also, the trainer gets 21% going from straight maiden to maiden claiming. And then there's that 8 is my final choice. Second start after a layoff. I ran second last time out. Does move up in class, but the thing that keeps this horse in this race is the speed. The horse does have some speed.
I'm going to go with the 3, moving on up. Both races were good enough to win. It is a maiden special weight dropper with a bunch of workouts between races. I'm going to take a flyer with the 2. Madonini. Decent workouts. Trainer wins at 15% with first-time starters, and the breeding is there, so why not? Number 9, Wonder Wave, is a maiden special weight dropper. Third start after a layoff. Going back to turf would have helped, but the 3 workouts between races will help. And then finally, number 8, Mama Kim. Going to be up front. Going to try to wire this field, Charles. A repeat of its last race might be enough in the second start after a layoff. 239, hoping that 2-horse surprises. 5-6, 2-6-7, and 2-5 is my pick 4. It looks like race 1, Charles. They're about to get cooking, so our timing is spot on for race number 1. And it is raining pretty good down there in South Florida. The 3-horse is the 1-2-1 favorite. The 4-horse and the 8-horse are up next at 3-1. And then you have the 6-horse at 6-1. So we have the 4 favorites, Charles, in order, according to the bettors down there in Florida. The wet ones, let's see how they run this first race, because the second race is going to be exactly the same distance and surface and probably the same conditions, though in 20 minutes, you never know. Well, it looks like the 5 and a 6 got a little bit of a slow break. The 2-horse, Charles, Kindness is free along with the 7. Zuli Abeya, they head out to the lead. The 4-horse, Charles, the one that you thought might have a shot to be involved in there, he is in there. Again, our projected leaders are indeed your leaders in that order. And, well, the 2-horse is kind of taken to the 7, but 7's kind of up the track a little bit. I wonder how the water drains on that Tapeta towards the rail there.
Yeah, I don't know, but that 3 is moving very good on. He was on the rail, and now he's moving out.
Yeah, so he's tucked in between horses right now. You probably have around a 3-horse gap between the 7, who's on the lead, and then the last place horse. It looks like the 5-horse Starship Sagrin. They went through the opening quarter in a 24-3. First half in 48-6. 4 horses moved up along the 7. The 2 horses probably calling it a day. Looks like the 8-horse, Charles. It looks like that one is going to make a pretty aggressive play for the W here. The 3-horse is gone the widest, it looks like to me, Charles. Or is he still sitting between horses? No, he's still sitting between horses. He's going to have to get some room right now.
Yeah, he needs room.
It looks like the 8-horse is the one that's going to be the one that they have to catch, Charles. The 3-horse is going to have every opportunity to get to him. Can he get to him, Charles? I don't know if he's going to get to him. It's going to be a battle between the 6 and the 8 for third. I mean, the 6 and the 5. It looks like it's going to go 8, then the 3, then the, what was that? The 6, 8, 3, 6.
8, 3, 6, 5.
So I had the trifecta, so I'm happy with that.
The 3 got caught up. Got stuck between
tough
horses.
Ride in there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got stuck in that traffic right there when he was trying to go between horses, and then the 8 got the jump on him. Yeah, coming out of the turn, the 8 got the jump on him and brought it all the way to the finish line. All right, so let's go off to race number 3. Charles, we have the right horses, just not necessarily in the right order, but I did hit the trifecta. Let's see if we can hit something in race number 3. What are we going to do in this one?
Okay, well, this one's a mile on the main track, so we're going to be very sloppy. Claiming price of $35,000, non-winners at 2 life. The purse is $36,000. This is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
Yes, and we have the 1 mile turn, so it's going to act a little bit more like a sprint. I would expect speed to hold on the sloppy track. Horses might not like that wet, muddy, sloppy kickback. Early speed normally does pretty well, Charles. 28% of the time that goes wire to wire. Doesn't seem to be much of a post position bias in there either. So be fast in race number 3, Charles, and you got a shot. And it looks like the only one that doesn't have a shot to get to the lead is the 6.
Yeah. Now watch who's going to get the lead.
Probably. You can bank on that now.
Yeah. The 5's got a 29% chance. I can see it a little bit, but I really think the 1's going to get the lead, possibly the 3. But I like the 1's chances at 21% chance of getting the lead at the quarter pole. Then when it comes to simulation odds, we have the 4 at slightly over even money, and it's 5-1 morning line. And then we got the 5 itself, just slightly under 2-1. We got 2-1 morning line.
You got about 9-5 on that one. So a little bit of value, perhaps. The outside horses, the 4, the 5, and the 6, the best chance of this group to run par, although the 2 kind of sneaks in there a little bit too. The 2 horse also grading out as that top C-zone score along with the 4 horse draws. Just looking at the numbers across here, looks like to me, if we were using this as our sole measure for handicapping, the 4 would be the play in this race. As far as the race shape is concerned, very balanced race, Charles. 2 in the front, 2 in the middle, 2 in the back. Everybody should be about where they want to be according to the early speed numbers, although that 5 horse, Sylvia V's Heroes, that's a left arrow horse, Charles, one that usually closes with enough early speed to be in contention early. Looking at the late speed, Miss Yurkania, a little bit quicker than Jalise Katz, that 4 horse that we talked about in the simulations there, Charles, grading out pretty high. In fact, it's one of the top total pace horses. Minus the 1 horse, though, Charles, Kiss Me Hardy. All of them are within a few points of each other. So it should be a really competitive race. You think the 1 will be more than competitive as well?
Yeah, I do. I like this horse a lot. Drops in class. 1 last time out. I think it's going to have the speed to take the lead and not look back because of the slop. Trainer gets 10% with 90-plus days of rest. So you got a very fresh horse here. And Luis Saez is aboard, so why not? And the 5 is my second choice. This horse ran even the last 2 times, got some tactical speed, so this one will be able to sit close. Second start after a layoff, totally fits with this group. And then the 3 is my third choice. 1 last time, pretty big, 11 lengths. Does have speed, moves up in class, has been off for 4 months. So there's the negatives right there. But, 1 pretty big. So they're thinking big things about this horse. The 6 ran even last time, will be closing. So is there enough speed in here? Yes. But is the slop the key for a closer? Well, we're going to find out in this race because it's the first one on the main track. So it looks like totally fitting for this race.
I do think there's a lot of speed in here, Charles, so it should give the 6 room to run them down. When you rewind through the 1 mile races for this one on dirt at Gulfstream Park, much closer to the front, and any of them, if it can just repeat, would be more than enough to get the W here. So I'm going to put the 6 on top. Sylvia V's Heroes gets that left arrow status that we talked about in the race shape right there, coming off the top last race speed figure. And the resume says that there is a chance for major improvement.
Well, looks like he froze up again. Rich, we lost Rich again. Are you there? Okay. Well, it looks like he has the 6 on top. Probably for the same reason. It's going to be closing.
That's the 4 horse. I don't know what the heck just happened right there. Really consistent performer. The numbers are really close for this level, Charles. And when you take a look at the data that we talked about here, really strong performer. I'm going to do a trifecta 3, 5, 6 over the 5, 6 over the 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wasn't sure if my computer just clicked out there again, Charles, because I'm looking at things and
well, it did. You froze up for a while there. So
did you hear anything I said or no?
I didn't hear nothing.
Nothing? All right. So I like the 6 horse. That's what I like. Any of her races at a mile at Gulfstream would work. Sylvia V's Heroes is that left arrow horse we talked about. Top last resume, top last race speed figure, and the resume says significant opportunity to improve. Second up, Hidden Road tried a mile for the first time last time out. Won by 11, as you mentioned, Charles. So maybe this one is a router. And Jalise Cat, that's the one with all these good numbers right here. Trifecta 3, 5, 6 over to 5, 6 over the 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And hopefully I don't click out again. Did you hear that?
I heard that.
All right. Well, let's hear about race number 4.
Okay, race number 4. It stays on the main track. We're on 7 furlongs. Maiden claiming 12.5. Purse is 22,000. This is for, again, Phillies 2-year-olds. Like, is this the Phillies day or what?
Yeah, it is. The Phillies days, the girls' day, girls' night out, Thursday night, right?
That's right.
7 furlongs at the Gulfstream Park track, early speed, 24% of the time. Later, Kobe Bryant goes wire to wire. There is an outside to inside bias, so the farther you are from the rail, the better. In fact, the rail has a decent discount. 2 and 3 discounted, but do perform a little better than the one horse. 4 through 7 and play fair. 8 and out, you get a bonus. So Charles, in race number 4, if you're on the outside, if you're a Buffalo girl on the outside and you have some speed, you got a good shot.
Yeah, and well, it looks like between the 2 and the 9 are going to fight it. Oh no, I'm sorry, the 4. I forgot. I missed the 4. Yeah. The 4 has a 34% chance of getting that lead at the quarter pole, but the 2 and the 9 have 24% chance of getting at that lead. So there's going to be some pushing along whoever gets it. So I think we're going to have plenty of speed in this race for this. When it comes to simulation odds, we got the 2 just under even money. We have 4.5 to 1. So that's a little overlay. The 4, we have just under 5 to 1. We have 6 to 1 morning line. And that is it.
Yeah, and it looks like Platinum Rocker. Aren't all rockers platinum nowadays, Charles?
I think so.
Yes, par. None of them have shown that they have the ability to get to par for this level. And if you look at the C zone, it looks like all of them could be stressed in this race because nobody clearing 50%. My sweetheart, Danny, California, there you go, rocker. That one has the best chance to probably find itself in a comfortable mode. In race number 4, our race shape, Charles, the 1, the 3, the 5, and the 7. In their limited experiences, none of them have been within 5 lengths of the leader. So maybe just take the 2, 4, 8, and 9, box them together, and you can get your exacta or trifecta. Someone in here, Charles, has to take the lead. Looks like, according to our pace numbers, it's going to be pretty competitive up front there, Charles. Really only the 6 horse without a shot. You got a bunch of them within 10 points. A misstep, spinning the wheels in the gate. We'll see. Late speed, Charles, that belongs to the 2 horse. Blue-Eyed Warrior, the lone PC type, also going to be in contention. Mo Twilight, got to be right there too, Charles. Our top total pace horse in this race is the 2 horse, Blue-Eyed Warrior. And Mo Twilight, they're about a length better than all the rest. So maybe there's your exacta, Charles. Too cold, exacta box. Take your pick. What do you have as your winning combination?
Well, I do like that too. Why I like it the most is because it's speed. So I think this horse could go to lead. It could sit second or third, and like your chart just shown, it does have some late kick ability. So I think this horse is the most versatile horse in this race, especially it being on sloppy track. Kind of probably need that a little bit, but you need a little speed. Ran second last time out, drops in class today. Trainer gets 13% with 46 plus days of rest. Hey, fresh horse. The 3 is my second choice. This one drops in class, does have some tactical speed, probably a little bit more on the closing side. Trainer gets 12%, 46 plus days of rest. But the main thing on this horse is IRAD's aboard. The 6 is my third choice. Another one that drops. Ran even in its only race, so you can't fault this horse. It was learning. You got Paco aboard, so a little on the dangerous side. The 7 drops in class, like we just finished talking. We'll be closing pretty good. Second start after a layoff, and Casey gets 16% with that angle. And Tyler Gaffleon is aboard.
Tyler G. Still owes me money, my man. because I told him that I wouldn't put him on the top of my picks anymore, so he would win. So he said he's going to give me some. Anytime I pick him, he would lose. Anytime I don't pick him, he wins. So when he was on the Horse Center show, he agreed that I get a 1% cut of all of his winnings. Still waiting on that check, Tyler. Let's go, my man. Blue-Eyed Warrior, that 2-horse, is going to take a drop in class in its second career start. If it has any improvement off of its debut, probably your winner in here, Charles. 4 workout cents, so the horse should be fit. Ely's Runner, that 6-horse, 8-1, Charles. This is a class dropper. Did have a funky start in its debut, so a little better start. And the upside possibility in the second career start might be enough to get the W here. Mo Twilight, this one graduates because it's taken the biggest class drop in the field. Going to turn around in just 12 days, Charles. That's a pretty quick turnaround, no?
It's a quick turnaround, but it totally could be done.
And did up her speed figure in the second career start. The only other time the horse had 2 runs after a layoff. Then finally, Dreamy did show some early speed for the first time in 3 races last out. Has a really fast workout, too, on December the 2nd. And Irad's going to get on board. So you're going to have Irad elbowing one way and Paco elbowing the other way as they come down the stretch. 2-6-7 over to 2-6 over to 2-3-6-7-9 is my trifecta in race number 4. Maybe we can catch them duking it out again. We should probably try to get a charity benefit boxing match between Paco and Irad.
Yeah, we should.
I mean, you got a lot of these celebrity boxing matches nowadays, so they're in, like Jake Paul. I think a lot of people in the horse racing business would like to see Irad and Paco go at it. What do you think?
Well, I definitely would.
Would you pay for that?
Yeah, I would.
Not necessarily pay for it, but maybe put some money in.
Yeah, put money that goes to charity or whatever.
Yeah, to like the jockeys fund or disabled jockeys, that sort of thing. That would be fun. Who would you put your money on?
Ooh, I think Paco's a little on the sneaky side. I think he'd be.
Yeah, you think he's got a little bit more hand speed?
I think he does.
Yeah, I think so. But I think Irad, though, Irad has proven he'll do anything to win, man.
Yeah, he'll bite. He'll be the one biting the ear.
Yeah, he'll be the Tyson in the fight for sure. All right. So race number 5, my friend. It was supposed to be a mile and a 16th on the turf. It's not.
It's going to be a mile and 16th on my favorite course, Tapeta. This is an optional claiming of 50,000. Purse is 42,000. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of 50,000 or less, or which have never won a race other than maiden claiming state bred allowance or claiming price of 50,000 for 3-year-olds.
Oof, you've got to be tired now. So mile and a 16th, not on the turf, so it's on the all-weather. It does favor stalkers, Charles. 17% of the time, which is a good number for the Tapeta, go wire to wire. There is a rail penalty. Pocky's out, so the 2-horse now, Queen Maka, going to get to that somewhat post position on the rail. 2 and 3 are penalized as well. So the inside 3 kind of had a hard time of it at a mile and a 16th on the all-weather. 4 and out, all get a little bit of a small bonus. They pick up what the inside 3 lose. Charles, speed can be helpful in race number 5. Short field in here because of some scratches. So it does look like the 2 is the primary beneficiary of all of that, but still everybody with a shot to be on the lead.
Yeah, but the 2 does have a 30% chance of getting that lead at the quarter pole, and I believe that to be true. You're right. There is a couple other horses that does have some speed, but I just don't know if they can match the speed at the first quarter with the 2. When it comes to simulation odds, do we have anything? Nothing really.
No.
Look, he nailed these odds so good.
Yeah, Peter, he got a couple of them in there pretty well. Looks like the 2-horse, the 5-horse, and the 7-horse all have a good shot to go over par. A short field, so maybe just go 2, 5, 7 straight trifecta. And the 5 and the 7 also scoring out as the horses with the best C zone. So maybe you go 5, 7 over the 2. That's your exact trifecta box right in there, Charles. In race number 5, this shortened up field, that 5-horse, My Lion. I know it doesn't really show much in terms of its past performances, but if you read through the English races, the horse was on the lead. So I think it will take that lone E designation. 2 probably gives it a little bit of tussle. Our pace numbers say the 2 and the 4, they're going to get out there. So that 4 is another one of those left arrow horses, Charles. Closer, that should move forward today. Royal Dame, look at that. pretty big late pace advantage. Going to probably sit third in this mix, so could take advantage of that. Our top total pace, Charles, 3 horses, the 4, the 2, and the 7. They're much better than the rest, though. Don't sleep on that 5 horse, Charles. How do you think it's going to go?
Yeah, don't sleep on the 5. I like the 7 a little bit there as my top choice. Drops in class, ran even last time. Trainer gets 22%. When he rests them up for 46 plus days, this horse can close pretty good. So that's why I chose this horse on top. The 2 ran second the last 2 times. In my personal opinion, there's a jockey upgrade. Trainer has been hot the last 14 days. And that upgrade jockey is Irad. And then the 5 is my third choice. Ran second last time out. Trainer gets 25% first after a claim. That's very good. And this horse has got that tactical speed. It should sit pretty close. And Jose Ortiz is right there aboard. And then my final pick here, the 6, my price horse in this race. One last time out. Trainer gets 10% with 46 plus days of rest. This one will be flying at the end. Tyler's aboard. But let's see how it does on that PETA when it's wet and all that stuff. I don't know.
I'm going to start off with the 2 horse, Mr. Charles. Ran the top last race, speed figure last time. 4 points clear of the next closest horse. Benefits from all the other speed scratching, so won't have to work as hard to get the lead. Did show improvement through the first half mile last time out. It is a 4-year-old against a bunch of 3-year-olds, so that's a benefit as well. My concern is the horse tends to fade. So maybe without that pressure today, the fade goes away. My Lion comes in from England, should close, but also has been off since August. The works are solid. Ran versus much tougher in England. And I think you're going to see this horse close to the front and then have some great late pace too. So give Queen Maka some real fits down the stretch if that fade comes back to play. Royal Dame. Well, the turf would have been the right surface, Charles. They're not running on that one. So maybe I should flip it around a little bit because every other surface, the horse is only 1 win, 1 second, 1/3, and 7. So I think I'm going to do that, Charles. I am going to change my picks in this race.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. I'm going to go 6, and then I'm going to go with the 4 horse. And I'm going to take the 7 all out. So I'm helping you, Charles. You should be grateful.
The 7 is the winner.
I'm helping you out here, Charles.
You are. Everyone just back up the trucks and load it up. You'll be loading up money on this one.
Yeah, well, I just don't think that the 7 horse is going to enjoy running on the Tapeta, especially with the water in its face.
Well,
so I just made it the winner, Charles. You can thank me later.
I am. Don't worry. I'll be sending you a text right away.
I know you will. I will shake. That one has more. I think it and the 4 have about similar races. They're pretty similar horses. I think the 6 gets a little bit of a nod over the 4 because it's a little bit less lightly raced. It doesn't factor into my bet anyway, either way. I think the 2 are the 5-year winner. I'm going to start off at pick 5 with those 2. The 4, I'm going to single up in the next race. So it's going to really come down to the first 2 races for me. Then I'm going 4-3-4 on the back end. So if I can get in to the second half of the card, I'm going to be pretty happy with my choices and chances to hit the pick 5 to close out this week because Tom and I won't be doing Foreign Friday tomorrow. It's got something to do to celebrate the end of 2023 and the beginning of 2024. So no Foreign Friday. So let's go home a big winner on a pick 5, Charles. Race 6 is next up on our docket. What do we got going here?
We got a mile, main track. Guess what? We finally got the boys running. This is purse is 50,000. Maiden optional claiming 50. This is for 2-year-olds. The Florida breds or maiden claiming price of 50,000.
And at a mile, as we mentioned before, on the main track, it is a 1-turn mile, so probably going to favor sprinters, Charles, over closer types. What we do know so far at a mile on the Gulfstream track is it does favor early speed. 28% of the time, the horse goes gate to wire. Really no advantage to getting any particular post position, Charles. So really the advantage is to be forwardly placed in race number 6. And with that 5-horse scratching, boy, one of them is going to be on the lead for sure, it looks like.
Yeah, the one does have speed. Mark Casey gets 15% when he rests them up, 46 plus days. So you got a nice fresh horse here in this field. Even last time he ran, even last time got Tyler aboard.
But we're not
So
doing our picks right now.
oh,
We're
okay.
just going through the data. So race number looks like
Oh yeah.
The 4 horse.
Well, the 4 horses. Well, wow. What's that? 1 to 5, and you got 2 to 1 morning line. That's a big overlay there.
And a really good shot to run par plus for this. The only one in the field with the 5 horse scratching. So it looks like the 1 and the 4 are the biggest beneficiaries of that 5 being out. It looks like the whole field because it was a 1 to 1 morning line. Nobody really comfortable with the pace that's projected in here. Charles, race 6. Look at 1, 3, 6, and 7. None of them have been close to the winner at the finish line. 2 and 4 tried to close. So heck, this race, anything can happen, Charles, which is the case with 2-year-olds anyway.
Yeah.
Early speed, that 1 horse does have a 9-point advantage, almost 2 lengths on the rail. Doesn't have to clear anybody. No reason why the 1 shouldn't be your pace setter early on. As far as late speed is concerned, look at this 7 horse, Charles. 22 points better than everybody else. If that 7 horse is remotely close coming out of that turn, this race will be over. Total pace in this race, Charles, does favor the 4 horse, Secret Lover, and then the 7 horse, Kopech, the long shot with the big late pace. They're well above the rest of the field. Looks like the only one that doesn't fit after that is the 6. So 4 and 7, Charles. Those 2 look like the ones to beat on total pace. You don't have the 7 in your picks. Maybe you should change yours now.
No, I will not, because this horse is not going to be in the vicinity of making that big of a run. He can make a big run, but it's going to be so far back to begin with. It's, I mean, the one's going to go wire to wire. That's it. Sums it up. In this wide open field, if it was not raining and all that stuff, it'd probably be a different story. The 4 here is my second choice. Ran second last time out. Bravo stays aboard, so that's a good sign. Trainer gets 20% second time on a route. The 2 is my third choice. They're adding the blinkers today, which this horse probably needs. Drops in class. Johnny V's aboard, so that's a good thing. And then that 6, the one we said no to on the charts. Well, they're adding the blinkers today, so they're trying to do something to this horse to wake him up. They're dropping him in class. The trainer gets 17% second in its second race, and Paco's aboard.
I'm going to start with the 4 horse. Remember, I soloed him up in my pick 5, so a lot needs to happen for Secret Lover. Last 4 races, the horse increased its speed figure. Barry Meadows says 3 in a row. That's a 15% plus winner. Alpha Angle. Truth is, any of its last 3 races would beat these horses, and dropping from a $300,000 non-graded stakes race, Charles. I mean, really no excuses for this one not to win, especially with the 5 not involved. Kopech, if that one can get off to an early start, might upset my pick 5 there, Charles. Because if it's anywhere near close, it had stakes level late pace in its debut. Top tier stuff. Number 1, Head Lad, maybe too fast early on for the rest of these horses. Has that pretty aggressive early speed advantage over everybody else. Rides their rail. Team Travis, room for upside in his second start after a layoff. That's the only reason I put him in there. Paco's another reason, because you know if Paco has the lead late, he's going to knock you out the way. I don't have any picks, Charles. Because
but I'm starting my pick 4 here. I'm starting to pick 4. I'm taking my top 3 picks in this race. And same thing in the second leg. The third leg, I'm going top 2 picks. And then I look at that, the 4th and final leg. You know, I got 6 horses in that race. Trust me, I wanted to hit the all button, but there's a lot of horses that could do damage in that race.
The 3 horse, just incidentally looking at them walking into the Tapeta course there, that one was prancing pretty heavily on its toes. He looked like he was in a really good mood, Charles, in race number 2.
Usually that is the case when they're doing a bounce like a prance. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're happy, they're all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so he right now it's the 7 to 5 favorite, and based upon its body language, he was pretty excited to be there. Mm-hmm. He was definitely looking like a happy horse. So he's the favorite right now at 7 to 5. It is pouring rain, so Lord knows what's going to happen there. Yeah. While we wait for them to load for race number 2, just a quick reminder: if you head down to the description down below, you'll find a link for guaranteed tip sheet for the free track of the day is Mahoning Valley. Kindly use that down there, and you'll see in race number 1. The 5 horse, My Daniela, is a best bet. Again, you can get them every single day. 1 free track guaranteed tip sheet. Hopefully you find some good winners over there. So the 3 horse taking a little bit of late money, Charles, going from 7 to 5 to 6 to 5. The 9 horse is second up at 2 to 1. The 6 horse is your next, and that one's pretty down heavily in odds from 10 to 1 morning line to 5 to 1. Then you have the 5, Maybe Magic, and the 8 horse, Mama Kim, at 7 to 1. My 2 horse, Charles, my bomb in here, that one is 25 to 1, tied for the longest price on the board. So as far as I'm concerned, the 2 horse can start to pick 4 off, excuse me.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'd be thrilled with that start. Then just to get to the last leg and watch your 2 horses run second and third, both of them beat by a neck in a 3-way tie for the well, that 8 horse, Charles, we thought it might get to the lead, and it did. Yep, Mama Kim, that one had a good shot to get to the lead. My 2 horse, Charles, it decided maybe it doesn't want to be a part of the early pace in here today. Your 8 horse is continuing to be your pace setter. On the outside, you have the 9 horse. Then you have the 1 horse on the rail, the 3 running nicely in third. You got some good cover in there behind the 9. A little bit of a gap then off to the 6 horse. Channel Loop, they run through the opening quarter in 24 1/4 seconds down around the backside. They go really not a whole lot of change in order. I think the 2 horse was 25 for a reason, because he ain't even on the screen anywhere with those little like green dots and stuff that they have, Charles. But he's saving ground on the rail. So he's actually not that far off the pace. He's actually moving up right now. So hopefully it's got a chance to be involved. Opening half in 48 2. So they picked it up a little bit in the backside. 8 horse continues to be the pace setter. The 9 horse, the giving chase, my friend. They're coming through the turn. The 9 horse now closing in on the 1. The 3 horse, Charles, is absolutely moving the best. The 8 horse kind of looking between his legs, probably vanquished the 9 horse. 3 horses moved up alongside of the other horses that are making a move right now. The 6 horse looks like he might get involved. That 3 horse that looked pretty happy, Charles, pre-race, might be happy at the end of the race if he can get to the 8 horse. He's moved up alongside. Does seem to have the momentum. Nah, but the jockey's not really asking for more out of the 8. So the 3 horse did look happy, Charles. He was happy, Charles. And he is your winner. 3, 8, and then either the 5 or the 6 for third. My 2 horse did rally a little bit at the end. Maybe one that needed a little bit of a first. Maybe next time out, the 2 horse might improve a little bit, folks. So keep an eye on that one. The happy horse is your winning horse, Charles, at 7 to 5 or 6 to 5. The 8 horse, the one with some speed in there, Mama Kim, did finish second. Again, 5 or 6 in there competing for third, it looks like to me. There we go. 2 races down. What race are we on? Race number 7 now, right? 7. So 3 races for you and I to go, starting in race number 7. So let's talk about that one.
Okay, well, race number 7 is 5.5 furlongs, all weather to PETA. We're going to claiming price of $35,000. Purse is $36,000. This is for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races or which have not won a race since June 28th, 23.
So Danny Jackson says when you were 15, Charles, bet on the gray horse on rainy days. Is that true?
Yeah, that's what they say.
That's what they say. Why do they say that? And who are they? I want to know.
Everybody. Isn't that funny? Every time you go to a track, someone always says, my grandfather, my uncle, whoever told me to bet on the gray horses. Always.
Whoever the degenerate is that turned them on to gambling.
Which I am the degenerate of my family, yes.
Yeah, I guess that's something we all probably share, Charles.
And I'm sure Danny Jackson's a degenerate of his now.
So 5.5 furlongs on your favorite surface, Charles. Early speed, 29% of the time they go wire to wire. There is not an advantage to any post position. They play fair. So in race number 7, just be fast, and you got a trio of them that look like they'll be competing for the lead early.
Yeah, we got the 3 at 38% chance of getting that lead at the quarter pole, but then that 7 is going to have a say in that also, getting that lead at the quarter pole. I actually think the 3 will get it, but let's see how that turns out because they both have really good numbers. And don't turn your back on the 4, I guess, either. Simulation odds, we have the 1 at slightly under 5-1. We have 6-1 morning line. We have the 4 at just under even money, and we have 2-1 morning line, and that's it.
Yeah, the 4 horse, the only one with a chance, according to our simulations, to pop par or better. That should be a positive. It does have that big overlay as well there. The C zone, maybe a little bit uncomfortable. Looks like the 2 horse. Amor Lejano, that one might be the best chance to have a race shape to its liking. Cheerful Charlie, how come that one's not even in your picks? I know why. Because Cheerful and Charlie, they never go together.
That's right. I'm never happy about anything.
Our total race shape, we have a pretty balanced race in here. There's 3 horse in here. Friar Tuck. That one is your Sesame Street horse, unlike any of the others. So this one has the most versatility. If the 4 and 5 go too fast, they can decide to sit back here with the pressure horses and co-pilot the race. If they go too slow, just say, hey, you know what, guys? Thanks for your early work. I'm going to show you how it's done. Early speed does belong to Friar Tuck. Good thing I didn't confuse that for an F. But Friar Tuck, about 4 points quicker than a whole bunch of other horses. So again, I think that one will have a choice. Does it want to let the other ones run fast, or does it want to take charge early on? Late speed belongs to the 6 horse, the closer. X-Prompt, 7 points quicker than everybody else. So if that one's close coming down the stretch, Charles, could be tough to hold them off. Our total pace says minus the 5 horse. Yeah, of course. Minus Cheerful Charlie. All of them are within a few points of each other, Charles. So just throw out Charles, make some picks on the rest. What do you got there?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the 4 here. This horse has some speed. Ran second last time out. Jose Ortiz stays on this horse. This horse was well bet also. So a lot of good things about that horse. The 7, this horse cuts back in distance, does have some tactical speed, drops in class. Tyler Gaffleon's aboard. And then What the Tuck? I mean, yeah. Fire Tuck, the 3 drops in class, has some speed itself. So like you said, it could be the leader, which I think it could be. Trainer gets 16% with 46 plus days of rest. IRAD's aboard. And then the 1 horse, my final pick here, ran even last time, drops in class. This horse will be closing at the end. Johnny V's aboard. And you just did another copy and paste here on your picks. And I got to pick 3 here. I'm taking all 4 horses. I'm singling out that center second leg, and then I'm going top 3 picks in the last.
Since I copied Charles, I'll tell you why I did it. I like the 4 horse. This one's always getting some action from the bettors. Going to be forward in this race, Charles, right where it wants to be. And all of his wins, 3 of them, and the best races have come with Jose riding. Jose's on there today. Number 7, Super Success, is probably the most consistent horse in this field, Charles. The off the bench record is really, I was actually thinking putting this one first. You know what I'm going to do, Charles? Just so you can't make that plagiarism claim, I am going to put that 7 horse first, Charles. You know why? It has a bullet and go workout. The last workout coming to the track, I think 4 furlongs in 47. So it's going to get forwardly placed today. That's why I'm going to do
Apparently, you don't. You apparently just don't learn from your own mistakes. Now, thank you for the 4.
You're welcome. Friar Tuck. You really don't see IRAD riding 12-1s too often, Charles, in the morning line. Well, you got it today. This one's going to be forwardly placed, and we'll see what it does on first time all weather. I got a feeling you got a call. Hey, IRAD, this one might perform well on the all weather today. Otherwise, why would IRAD not be on the 2-1 or the 9-5? Finally, number 1, Volker. It's another one. Going to give a all-weather a try for the first time on that synthetic. The turf record says he'll like it. If he can run back a couple of races, I think if I remember correctly, this one on July 29th ran a blistering race at Saratoga on the grass. If it can repeat that one, Charles, that might be how you start off your pick 3. No bets for me because I saved my money for races 8 and 9. So we're going to go to the daily double right now. Charles, I didn't bet that. They were going to run a mile on the turf. They aren't now.
No, they're going to be running a mile and 70 yards on that Tapeta. This is for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races or which have not won a race since June the 28th and 23.
The first two races of the day were at 1 mile and 70 yards on the all-weather. This one will be 1 mile and 70 yards on the all-weather, and you saw speed hold up in both of them, though you did see the mid-pack horse coming close. So stalkers and speed, probably the way to go in 1 mile and 70 yards today. It is typically the way to go there too, Charles. So if we're looking for a stalker or some speed, boy, you got a lot to pick from, because only the 1 and the 3 look like they don't have a shot to be on the.
Yeah, this is there's plenty of speed in this race, to say that.
Mm-hmm.
The 9 has the best chance, that 35% chance of getting the lead at that quarter pole. There's plenty of other horses that could get that lead, like the 2 at 25%, and possibly even the 7 or the 10. I mean, the 10 is going to have to gun it a little bit probably to get out there, but we'll see. But I think that that 9 is going to have the biggest shot, of course, getting that lead. When it comes to simulation odds, what do we have here? Anything? The 3. Just under 4-1. We got 5-1 morning line. And then we have the 7 at 2-1 and 8-1 morning line. And that's it.
And then you got a couple of them here, Charles. You got the 3, the 6, the 7, and the 10. Good chance to hit, especially the 6. Look at that, Charles. Great shot to go over par for this level. And a ton of horses really should like the projected pace. Should be a pretty competitive effort from about 5 or 6 horses in here. Let's see if any of them have an advantage based upon the race shape. Not really. Probably most of them want to be middle back. So maybe if the 7, 8, or 10 can get an aggressive lead early on, they'd have a good shot to go wire. The problem is KC Chief. They're struggling on the football field right now, but this one might not struggle when the gates open. Has a 5-point advantage over Big Venezuela. And really, these numbers are pedestrian, so not a lot of classic front runner types in here.
Yeah.
2 horses could get to the front, my man. The late speed belongs to the 7. Red flag alert, although the 10 and the 3 will be right there tucked in with it. And then your top total pace of horse in here, Charles, is that 7 horse. Neither one of them have them in our picks. Probably going to be a regretful decision on our parts, especially with me and my pick of 5 at the end. But if it doesn't win, who will?
Well, it's the 3. This was originally, when I did all my handicapping, I thought this was going to be my long shot of the day, but it ends up being my best bet and long shot of the day.
Wow, you got a lot going on there.
Yeah, it's going to be, if it goes off at that price, it's 5-1. I'll take it as my long shot of the day. The 3 drops in class, ran even last time out. The trainer gets 21% of 46 plus days of rest. Luis Saez is aboard. I really like the way this race is setting up for this horse. Mm-hmm. The 6 is my second choice. Drops in class, ran even last time. Trainer gets 26%, 90 plus days of rest. IRAD's aboard. Does have some tactical speed. The 1 is my third choice. Drops in class. Another one tactical, but more on the closing side, as we saw on those charts. Jose Ortiz is aboard. And then the 10. This horse ran 3rd last time out. Drops in class. And what else? I mean, you got Mike Maker and Tyler Gaffleone as partners on this, the combo. That's a good combo there, if you ask me. So, but I really like this 3. I put $10 to win on the 3, and then I took a $2 double, 3 to the 146.
I have the 3 as my top pick. I did make a change too. I took the 1 out, so maybe the 1's going to be your winner, Charles. I'll put the 7 in off of all of that data. Red flag alert. I'm going to go again with the 3 horse, just like you, Charles. English Painter. This one's running the lowest level of its career, and the switch to the all-weather actually I think helps this horse because its best race was on the synthetic. Space Launch, the 6, has the most back class. It's the only horse in this field, Charles, to hit a hundo in its recent past performances. Fighter in the Wind, another that benefits from the switch off the turf to the all-weather surface, where he's run 4 times. He's got 2 wins and 2 thirds, so I either have to put him where the 3 is or put him in 3rd, so I'll put him in 3rd. Then finally, the 2 horse. I'm going to take a flyer in there, Charles. This one, as we mentioned over here, has a really good shot to be forward. One of the top total pace horses in here, too, a PC type. Why not take the 20-1 morning line odds? And then I'm going to do a trifecta. I'm going to mix that 7 in there, toss out the 1. So I just put the bow on the 1 and put it in the winner circle. 3, 6, 10, over to 3, 6, over to 2, 3, 6, 7, and 10. One race to go, my friend. That's race number 9. Last race of today in that sloppy, wet, ugly Miami day. And they're going to run a 1.1 miles on the all-weather.
Yeah, Tapeta time again. Mile 16th, maiden purse of 70,000. This is for just 2-year-olds.
Yes, indeed. And a lot of these horses don't have a whole lot of experience, but in the other races at 1.1 miles, stalkers have done well. 17%, which is a pretty good number for the Tapeta, have gone wire to wire. There is a rail penalty, so Inherit and Promise might find it difficult. 2 and 3 are also penalized a bit, Charles. 4 and out, they get a little bit of a bonus. So speed can be helpful, particularly if it's middle out. And in the last race, again, another one where a bunch of them have a shot to be up front.
Yeah, we have the 7 at 31% chance of getting that lead at the quarter pole. But, look out for the 2, possibly the 3, both at 25, 21% chance of getting that lead. There's a couple other horses that's going to be pushing along that could pop that gate if they really wanted to. So this is no easy task to get the lead in this race. Then you got simulation odds. We have the 2 at about 4 to 5, and you got 12 to 1 morning line. Now there's an overlay.
Yes, indeed.
And that's a big overlay. And then the 4 at 2 to 1 and the other one at 4.5 to 1 a morning line. So that's it. That's what we got.
Yeah, looking at this 2-horse here, Charles, a really strong chance to go par plus. Same with the Always Be Smart. So maybe a nice little exacta box 240. Got a decent price horse there. It could be a nice exacta right there. It looks like the only horse in here that's really going to be comfortable at the pace is the 1 horse, Inherit Promise, although the rail could be a little bit of a penalty. Race number 9, that 1 horse, wants to be forwardly placed, so he should be pretty happy about where he is, Charles. So everybody else, middle back. 3, 6, you don't know what you're going to get out of those 2 first-time starters. The 4, 7, 9, 10, they haven't been close at the finish line. 2, 5, and 8, so maybe throughout the 4, 7, 9, 10, Charles, who knows? And then just work with the other horses in here. Early on, that 7 horse is the one that's probably going to get the lead. Will be pressed, though, Charles, because there's quite a few of them that will be right on its tail. Few that it's got to clear on the inside as well. So it might have to work. If it does have to work, we do see it bombed late last time out, or has so far in its career. Mythical Performance, Always Be Smart, Breakout, Salacious, and Dangerous Driver. Those 4 or 5, they're pretty similar late speed, but particularly these 4 here. Top total pace says a very competitive race, although the 2, the 4, and the 10, well, the 8 even, all of the odd even number horses, minus the 6, the first-time starter. So maybe just throw the 6 in there, take all of the even horses, and make it an exacta trifecta box with the even horses. Charles, what do you think?
Yeah, well, if you go back on my pick 4, I took 6 horses in this race, so that's what I think. But I did end up with the 4 on top. Ran second last time out. Todd Pletcher gets 20% with 46 plus days of rest, and also gets 22% when he takes some first time route. So a lot of good things about that horse. Johnny V's aboard. So the 1 horse is my second choice here. Ran third last time. Mott gets 17% when he takes him from a turf to all weather, but this horse will be closing. The 6 is bred for this. First-time starter, Solid Works. Clement gets 20% with first-timers. A lot of positives there. The 8, my 4th choice, ran third last time. Trainer gets 24% second time in a route. Will be closing, and I can make easy an argument for 2 to 3 more easy.
Yeah, well, you said you got 6, so you get at least 2 more. I'm going to go with the 4 horse too, Mr. Charles, because I think the 4 horse will be smart. It's always smart to pick a horse named Always Smart. Was decently bet in its debut, and if it just gets any better at all in its second career start, it's going to do better. And it was a well-beaten, however, a Chris P. Parmalu horse who insists that the best handicapping angle in all horse racing is take a maiden who finished second in its last race. Breakout, that 2 horse, Charles, the one with the biggest par plus in there. Any of his first races, 2 races will do. This will be his first, though, on all weather, Charles. So we'll see how that works. But what's interesting to me is Tyler G and Safi. Those 2 have teamed up 6 times. hit the board in 5 of them, but won 3 of them. On one that's 12-1, it won't go off at 12-1 with that combo. Mythic Performance, the 8-horse, well bet in its debut, Mr. Charles, but got bumped at the beginning of that race. Closed very well. So just get a better start, and the 8-horse can beat them all. Stream Song, well-bred first-timer. Yeah, I was really close between it and the 3, the other first-time starter in here, Charles. I went with the 6-horse because, as you mentioned, Christophe Clement, great trainer, 20% of the time with first-time starters. That's a pretty big number right there. Decent workouts, getting prepped. The breeding is there as well. But what's Oisin Murphy doing on this horse, Charles? He's a big-time European jockey in England. Why is he here riding this one for his first bout of the year? What's going on? Huh?
Clement has a lot of connections with Europe. You know that.
Yeah.
So,
but you're going to fly, I guess, you go to Miami. I mean, why not?
Yeah, he's probably on vacation for holidays and stuff, and he wanted to stay in shape and let me ride a winner type of thing.
That's pretty interesting. So I have a trifecta, 2-4-8 over the 2-4 over the 2-3-4, 6 and 8. As I mentioned, that 3 or the 6, real toss-up, a flip of the coin on those 2 first-time starters. All right, Charles, that wraps up of all of our picks today. Here are our picks. I made a couple changes along the way, trying to help Charles out, get him off to a good end to 2023. We'll be back on New Year's Day, right? That's Monday. Terry and I, we'll do Parks. We'll celebrate that with all the bowl games. Make sure you hit the subscribe button while you're here. Hit the like button. Retweet if you're watching on Twitter. Help us grow our audience in 2024 by sharing our content across your social sites and following us if you haven't done so already. Horse Race, the number 2 day, Twitter or X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Again, right here on Horse Racing Radar TV. Hit the subscribe button. Charles, any final thoughts from you before we get out of here and close out 2023?
No, other than, like I said before, sale on January 8th at Keeneland. Like I said, drop me an email if you're interested or just got questions, whatnot. My basketball picks today.
How did you do yesterday, by the way?
College basketball, they covered.
You took
my
Virginia.
Football one did not. My football
you took Louisville, right?
Yeah.
Did you take Louisville?
Yeah.
Where did they get beat by 60? Something like that? I don't
know. They got 20-something, I think. But my basketball one, that's the one I count.
Well, that's the one you claim to be an expert in basketball.
And it won and covered, no problem.
And then
I
today?
got 2 today that will cover, but I'm going to say tease them both, do a teaser parlay. Oklahoma, they're giving 30, tease it, to Texas Tech, giving 16.5. Do a teaser parlay.
So teaser parlay with Oklahoma and Texas Tech?
Yep.
And then reduce the spread a little bit is what
you're it'd be a teaser is 4 points, so you just drop it down 4 points.
Yeah, a lot of these though nowadays you could pick your line on.
Yeah, you can, but the first teaser points are usually the 4 points.
So tease them down both 4 points. Take Oklahoma, Texas Tech. Charles looking to start his college basketball picks on Horse Racing Radar TV at 3-0. All right, folks, no matter what you're doing for the rest of this day, for the rest of 2023, certainly want you to be safe, enjoy God's blessing and God's favor, and every single thing that you do between here and 2024, Charles, ends up in
the winner's circle.
Yes, indeed. Have a great day. A fantastic end of 2023.